Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Azimaleinu Ushonenu.
Shalom, everyone. Welcome to our Sinai Temple services and our Sinai Temple's Feit Family Shabbat Live. We're so happy you decided to join us this morning. And to begin our Pesukei Dezimra service, we wanted to do a little ode to Craig. So we hope you enjoy. We hope all of you enjoy as we give praise to our Master, our Creator, who endows us with goodness and peace and blessing. Enjoy. Master of all things, ruler of Israel,
we are your people and you are our God.
Teach us to follow, obey your commandments. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Your glorious kingdom abounds in the heavens.
Your majesty rules all over the earth.
We are your teachers and you are our master. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
I sing unto God, to my Lord I sing praise. From the moment to moment beyond, I sing hallelujah,
Hallelujah,
hallelujah. I sing hallelujah,
hallelujah,
hallelujah. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
If you're following along in your Lev Shalem prayer book, please join us in Ma Tovu, page 101.
Ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha.
Please rise for our morning blessings. We're found on page 103. For those who are following along in Facebook, we invite you to add to our community by writing in our chat. Write in the chat and answer the following question. We bless God and we praise God for providing for all of our needs. But we know that Often our blessings serve as reminders to ourselves about the ways in which we should act in this world, which means that part of our job as messengers of God is to provide for the needs of someone else. We concentrate on ourselves, but these blessings remind us to focus on the other. So how will you today provide for someone else's needs? Add it in the chat as we sing together, page 103.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sech v'bina levchem min yom v'ein lahayla.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelmo.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorihim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrihim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam atir asurihim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokaret al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechim mitzadei gaver.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asali kol tzorki.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam anoten laYahweh koach. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael.
For those in mourning or observing yard site, I'll ask you to please rise for the mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 121. Page 121. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra kerute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayedecho be'Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei omaya.
Yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. We remain standing as we chant Baruch She'amar, page 122.
Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu, Baruch hu zev reishit, Baruch hu mer v'yoseh, Baruch hu zer mekayim, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem al habriyot, Baruch hashalem dachar tov lireyav, Baruch ha'elad v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch padel matzil, Baruch shemaho, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, ha'elav ha'rachaman, ha'mehula b'fi yamo, Meshubach, mufa'ar, b'lashon chasidav ve'avadav, V'shirei David avdecha nehalelecha Adonai Eloheinu v'shvachot v'zmirot negadelecha neshebecha neferecha v'nazkir shimcha v'namlicha malkeinu Eloheinu Yachid chayoli melech m'shubach v'rnei shema hagadol Baruch atah Adonai melech mehulal b'tishbachot.
Please be seated. We continue our service, bottom of page 127. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi.
Yehiyu leratzon imrefi ve'yohon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi ve'yohon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goho ani. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goho ani. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi ve'yohon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi ve'yohon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goho ani. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goho ani.
Dear God, give us strength. You are our strength and our deliverer. Ozi V'Zimrat Yah is found on page 143.
Ozi V'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li Yeshua. Ozi V'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li Yeshua. Ozi V'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li Yeshua. Ozi V'Zimrat Yah Vayehi Yeshua.
Our Shacharit service continues with Cantor Feldman. We're found on page 147. Page 147, beginning our Shacharit service.
Rabbi Guzik. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Guzik. Thank you, Rabbi Sherman. Shabbat Shalom to everyone out there on our website, on Facebook. We wish you a wonderful, peaceful Shabbat. We continue our service on page 147 with Shochin Ad. Shochin Ad marom v'kadosh shemo v'fi yesharim tithalal uvdivrei tzadikim titbarach ובראשון חסידים תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, ובמקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל. להודות, להלל, לשבח, לפאר, לרומם, להלל, לברך, להלל ולקלס, על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות, דוד בן ישי, עבדך משיחך. ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו. ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני, אל מלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודאות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלכי העולמים. Please rise, middle of page 148. יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביולמכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בהלמה והימרו Amen. We join together for the Baruch Hu, page 149. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yadonai Lainai 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 Top of page 150. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אין כרכך אדוני אלוהינו בעולם הזה, ואין זולתך מלכנו לחיי העולם הבא. אפס פילתך גואלנו לימות המשיח, ואין דומה לך מושיענו לתחיית המתים. Page 151. אל אדון על כל המעשים, ברוך ומבורך בפי כל נשמה, גודלו וטובו מלא עולם, דת ותבונה סובבים אותו, המתגאה על חיות הקודש ונדר בכבוד על המרכבה, זכות ומשוד לפני כיסו, חסד ורחמים לפני כבודו, טובים מאורות שברא אלוהינו יצרם בדעת בבינה ובהשכל, כוח וגבורה נתן בהם להיות מושלים בקרב תבל, מלאים זיו ומפיקים נוגה, נאה זיום בכל העולם, שמחים בצאתם וששים בבואם, עושים באימה רצון קונם, פאר וכבוד נותנים לשמו, צהלה ורינה לזכר מלכותו, קרא לשמש ויזרח אור, רע והתקין צורת הלבנה, שבח נותנים לו כל צבא מרום, תפארת וגדולה, שרפים ואופנים וחיות הקודש. Page 152. תתברך משה שבח מעשה ידיך ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארך הסלע. Page 153. וכולם פותחים מפיהם בקדושה וטהרה, בשירה ובזמרה ובזמרה, בשירה ובזמרה ובזמרה, ומברכים ומשבחים ומפארים ומריצים ומקדישים וממליכים. כולם כחלונים אומרים ביראה, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלך כל הארץ כבודו. לעומתם משבחים ואומרים, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אור חדש על ציון, על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מרע לאורו. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מרע לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. In the middle of page 154, we gather together our tzitzit in preparation for the Shema and its blessings, which are found on the next page. וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול, סלע באמת להודות לך וליחידך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר במו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Page 156. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן. We turn ahead to the middle of page 158, our Song of Redemption, Mi Chamo.
Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehtar b'kodesh nora, nora tehilot, osef elef. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehtar b'kodesh nora, nora tehilot, osef elef. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים נשימך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלף אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלף אוסף אלף אוסף אלף צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ופדחנו ממך יהודה וישראל גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל ברוך אתה אדוני God Yisrael.
We join together for the beginning of our Shacharit Amidah, page 159.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Ve'hanora, El Elyon, Kol Melech Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot, U'mevii Goel, Ibnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Ve'ava, מלך עוזר ופוקד מושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני בחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע מורי אתה מכלכל חיים בחסד בחיי מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו אישי אהבה מכמוך בגבורות ומדומך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצליח ישוע ונאמן אתה לחיות ביתי ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים.
We continue with our Kedusha, page 161.
מקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו משמי מרום כתוב על יד נביאך וקרא זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלך כל הארץ כבודו אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר בחזק משמיעים קול, אז בקול רעש גדול, אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול. מתנשאים לעומת צרפים, מתנשאים לעומת צרפים, לעומתם ברוך יומנו, ברוך כבוד אדוני יביא מקומו. ממקומך מלכנו טוב יהיה, ממקומך מלכנו טוב יהיה, ותמלוך עלינו ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך בציון וקרוב בימינו, לעולם ועד תשכון. תתגדל ותתקדש בתוך ירושלים עירך, לדור ודור ולנצח נצחים. עינינו תראנה, תראנה מלכותך, הדבר המון בשירי עוזך. על ידי דוד משיח צדקך, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד קוד לך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד קוד לך. ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך, קדושתך נגיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפתנו לא ימוש, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד קוד לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד קוד לך. כי אל מלך גדול, גדול וקדוש, גדול וקדוש אתה. ינאי 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 ינאי. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue praying the remainder of our Amidah privately, pages 162 through 166. If you're still praying your Amidah, we invite you to continue at your own pace. Our service continues with Kaddish Shalem, page 167.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קידותי ומליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובמכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קריב והימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתלש מלכות שם, בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ורחמתה דמירם ימה והימרו, אמן. תתקבל צלותנו ולכל כל ישראל, כל דם ובון וישמע והימרו, Amen. Yesh lama rabba mitshmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael vehimeru. Amen. Hoseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael vehimeru. Amen.
That concludes our Shacharit service. I will send it back over to Rabbis Guzik and Sherman in Cone Chapel.
Thank you, Kendra Fellman, for a beautiful shacharit this morning. We continue with Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the taking out and reading of our Sefer Torah. Ein Kamocha is found on page 168.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, v'ein kema'asecha malchutecha malechut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch leolam va'en. Adonai oz li'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. Av harachamim eitiv avirtzoncha et Zion, Kivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Kivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu, Melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim. We rise as the ark is opened. Vayehi b'tzo Aharon vayomer Moshe, Uma Adonai v'yafutzu oivecha v'yanusu misanecha mipanecha, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kdushat. Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the Universe. On the Shabbat where we celebrate Mother's Day, as we feel the embrace of our moms from near and far, may we also feel the embrace of your Shekhinah, of your motherly presence, also near and far, as we pray for a week of peace ahead, of shalom, a week where we can truly connect to those who we love the most. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol, Adonai Gadol Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adoneinu, Gadol Shemo.
Gadol Adonai iti uneromema Shemo Yafta.
Lecha Adonai hagedula ve'hagevura ve'hatiferet ve'hanetzach ve'hahod. Kichol v'shamayim u'va'aretz, Kichol v'shamayim u'va'aretz. Adonai הממלכה והמנהסי לכל לראש רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו לאדום רגליו קדוש הוא. רחמו אלוהינו ושכבו להר קדשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. You may be seated. This week we read from Parshat Emor, two pieces of the puzzle of Emor, first dealing with the Kohanim, the priestly class, but really also dealing with inclusion, who is fit to serve, but also who is able to enter the sanctuary. And also a thing that we'll also hear about later, God tells us, Elehem Moadai, that these are the appointed seasons. But most importantly is the second piece of that verse, which says, Asher tikru otam, that you shall proclaim them. Because if God appoints our seasons, but we do not proclaim them, it is as if they do not exist at all. So this Shabbat, when we read Parshat Emor, think about Shabbat as one of God's appointed seasons, as well as the Chagim, the 3 pilgrimage festivals to Jerusalem. And think about how God tells us to celebrate them. And let us enact that in our own life, proclaiming them throughout our day, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The reading is going to be the first aliyah of Parshat Emor. In just a moment, we're going to have the page number. It is also on our synagogue website.
We are found on page 717 in our Eitz Chaim Chumash, 717, and we are found chapter 21, verse 1. Chapter 21, verse 1 of Vayikra. And we're so excited that we have upgraded your blessings opportunity here. So for those who would like to engage in the Aliyah with us, we'll ask you to write in the chat on Facebook why you're deciding to stand up and to rise to have the Aliyah with us. It'd be wonderful to know what you're celebrating or commemorating. And with that, then I will actually take the Aliyah closer to Rabbi Sherman. Yep. Join with me. Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe emor el hakohanim b'nei Aharon v'amarta aleihem lenefesh lo itama b'yamav ki im l'sheiro hakarov elav l'imo u'aviv l'no u'lvito u'leachav u'lachoto habetula korva elav asher lo ita le'ish la itamav lo itama be'al be'amav leheichalo lo yikarchu korcha berosham ufa'atzitam lo yigalechu uvisaram lo yisertu saratet Kadoshim yula lohehem v'lo yechalalu shem Elohehem ki et ishe Adonai lechem Elohehem hem akrivim ayu kodesh isha zona v'chala lo yikachu v'isha grusham isha lo yikachu ki kadosh hu lelohav v'kidashto ki et lechem Elohecha hu makriv kodesh kadosh yela ki kadosh ani Adonai mekadishchem uvat ish kohen ki tachel iznot et aviha hi mechalelet ba'esh tisarev.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata betocheinu. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
We will pause for a Misha Berach for Cholim, a prayer for those in need of physical and spiritual well-being. Later in our Shabbat live service, we'll have a very special Misha Berach, including music. But for this Misha Berach will be the traditional one. Again, if you are watching on Facebook, you can add to the chat who you wish to add for a prayer of physical and spiritual well-being. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. Choivrech repet hacholim hakadosh baruch hu yimalei rachim aleihem lahachazikam l'rapotam yishlach lehem mehera refuah shalem and shamayim refuat hanefesh refuat haguf betoch shar hacholim v'chazek yideyoskim b'tzorchehem Shabbat him lizok refuah kravo lavo hashta baglaus man karivin omar amen. May the one who blessed their ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah,
Bring blessing and healing to Yonatan ben Bracha, Esther bat Leah, Chaya Elka bat Miriam, Zipporah bat Ariel Leib, Sarah bat Sima, Getzel ben Chana, Shmuel Pesach ben Seymour, Renee, Nachum ben Malka, Rachel Leah bat Chana Kuna, Eva Kelamin, Menashe ben Shazan Sarah, Michael ben Tov Eliyahu, Shoshana bat Chana, Chayav Ariel, Dylan Sher, Gila Nisan bat Mazal. May the Holy One mercifully restore them to health and vigor, granting them physical and spiritual well-being together with all others who are ill. And let us all say, Amen, Refuah Shlema.
We'll ask everyone to please rise as we return our Sefer Torah to the Ark. We're found on page 174 back in our Lev Shalem, page 174 back in our red prayer books. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Chaim chilem checha me'ushar Chaim hilem achazikim babetom me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom. Tree of life to those who hold fast, all of its support. Happy.
All who supported are
happy. We have different English translations. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Before we return the Sefer Torah immediately to the Ark, I'll ask those who are following along, please read at home. We're found on page 177. 177 in the English, a prayer for our country, the first paragraph in English on that page. Our God and God of our ancestors, with mercy accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing upon this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, its judges, officers, and officials who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed, so that peace and security, happiness and freedom will never depart from our land. A prayer for the state of Israel. Please read with me, page 178.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'Goalo.
Avinu Sheba Shamayim, stronghold and redeemer of the people Israel. Bless the state of Israel that it may be the beginning of our redemption. Shield it with your love. Spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them. Crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say, Amen.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'Goalo.
If you're not already standing, I'll ask you to please do so. We are found on page 183 as we return our Sefer Torah to the Ark with Yahalalu. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado.
Haaretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren leyamo, tehila lechol chasidav, livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah. lachem Torati Al ta'azovu Eitz chaim hi Rabba chazikim ba V'tomcheha meyusham Deracheha darchei noam V'chol netivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Kekedesh.
You may be seated. So some of you know that I write a weekly kind of commentary. Sometimes it's a take on the Torah portion. Sometimes it's just some of my thoughts, and it's called a Bissel Torah. And I wanted to share with you what I wrote this past Friday morning, especially in honor of Mother's Day. So usually now, in our new normal, I'm also, as is my husband, we're learning this homeschooling thing. Sinai Akiba Academy is fantastic. We are so lucky. And so we assist our kids in their learning. And so the other day I was helping Henry, our 4-year-old. We color and we garden and we learn letters. And I don't even know what I said to Henry, but I must have said something. And he looked at me and said, "You sound exactly like Grandma." And I smiled to myself because, you know what? In the past, like many of you, sometimes we would groan at that statement. When we hear that we sound exactly like our parents, often that's when we think to ourselves, are you kidding me? Do I really sound like her? Think about the times in which we now say, do this because I told you to. Or don't make a face like that because you'll freeze. All the times that now we're repeating exactly what our parents have said. But in that moment when Henry said, "You sound exactly like Grandma," I took a breath and smiled and realized how incredibly lucky I am to sound like my mother. Because if I sound like my mother, then it means I sound like a woman who gives equal amounts of energy to her students as she does to her family. And if I sound like my mother, somehow I'm sound like a woman who's able to juggle a million things. I don't know how many of you know, but my mom was president of our synagogue growing up and president of the sisterhood. And at the same time, she was grading papers and putting meals on the table. Dad also helped. But I also sound like a woman who has a heart who beats continuously for her family. I sound like that woman. And so in my Bissel Torah, which I don't usually do, I asked our community members for a favor. I wanted them to ask themselves the question and answer for all of us this morning, what memory of your mother or what memory of your parent inspires you to be the person you are today? Again, what memory of your mother or what memory of your parent, whomever was your guiding force, inspires you to be the person you are today? And you answered. I had hundreds of answers, quite beautiful. And I'm going to share a few of them this morning. And I already apologize that I'm not able to share all of them, but I'm going to keep them in a collection, hopefully that I can share one day with others. But here's your answers. From Rebecca Bagan. My siblings and I attended Hillel Hebrew Academy. My mother would pick us up every day and drive us back to the valley. But on our way home one day, she saw an elderly man lying on the sidewalk. People were stepping over him and around him. My mother pulled the car over and ran to assist the man. As soon as she had him sitting up, people started to gather around asking how they could help. Someone was able to call 911. My mother helped get the paramedics to him, and they took him to the hospital. But when we all got settled back into the car, I asked my mother, how was it that nobody else stopped to help him? And she looked in the rearview mirror and said she didn't know why no one stopped to help. but that it was each person's responsibility to do the right thing, and that we're all images of God. How do you treat God, she said? With kindness, love, and dignity. From Anna Nazarian, it's true. I really follow my mom's footsteps, most of them, and even repeating her sentences without noticing it. My mom is a special and unique lady. I'm so blessed to be her daughter, and I hope that I've inherited half of her goodness. She always advised me to be kind and have forgiveness on every aspect. From Rochelle Marcus, Minnie, my mom, used to amaze me with her knack of preparing food as a baker or a cook. She worked for hours in our restaurant and then would come home and have a delicious dinner on the table in no time. She had a real knack for preparing food, and I believe she got that from her Romanian mother. To this day, I still do things the way she did, and I think I inherited her love for the kitchen and taking pride in the results. Perhaps that's why I love to work in the Sisterhood kitchen and be part of our catering committee. From Laura Dwoskin, my mother came to the United States in her 40s to determine to learn English. As a small child, I went with her to the library once a week to take out books. From her through 4 generations, me, my daughters, my granddaughter, and now my 7-year-old great-granddaughter, we're all committed readers. Rosalie Gottesman also loved gardening, thereby nourishing our bodies as well as our brains, which all of us have emulated. She died 79 years ago, but her spirit and her legacy lives on in us. From Joanne Rodriguez, I love my mom, who will be 85 on May 23rd, for which we had planned a huge party, but due to COVID-19 had to cancel. She worked for the Burbank Unified School District for 40 years and has seen so many generations of Burbankians grow up and their families and their families and families. Everywhere we go, someone recognizes her and will always say, Mrs. Rodriguez, I will never forget how much you helped us. If we could all have a legacy like that, our world would be a better place. Happy Mother's Day to all. From Annette Mann, my mother never met a stranger. She would meet someone at a bus stop or the beach or at the market, and within minutes, they would pour out their souls to her. Her address book was filled with names and numbers of these new friends. As a child, it embarrassed me. I would cringe. She was always on the lookout for friends for me. But now, as an adult, I am my mother. I travel all over the world. My favorite way is to go alone. Many of my favorite moments from these journeys are the conversations with the bus driver, the waitress, the person next to me on the park bench. I too collect names. Now they've become Facebook friends. Brief encounters have evolved into many years of sharing. Thank you, Mom. I love your gift. From Lori Levinson, my mother was a force of nature. She lived to help others. I'm not exactly sure what she would have done during a pandemic, but I know she would have been the one to take care of everyone else. She was generous and caring and loving. May her memory always serve for a blessing. Irene Moses Levinson made a difference on this earth to her family and so many others. From Angela Madahi, my mom inspired me because she grew from a shy girl to a strong woman who steadfastly guided her family after losing her husband at the age of 41. She constantly adapts and reinvents herself, learns and listens. Love comes in many ways, and my mother's is so special to me. From our own Ariel Cohen, I so intended to talk about my parents as my first teachers on March 15th, but that was robbed of this by this virus, and so here it is. My father, the consummate salesman, always said, you never have a second opportunity to make a first impression. I very often remind my students of this as they are preparing for their big day meaning bar bat mitzvah. And yes, I'm still teaching almost 40 students daily, getting and keeping them ready. My mother has always said, Im matchil b'mitzvah omrim gemor. Loosely translated, if you start something, finish it. But the subtext is, don't just finish it with a lek and a shmek, as my grandma would say, but finish it well. Hope I did okay there, Ariel. And my mother, the Hebrew teacher, gave me tools I use every day with my students. And Rosa Berman Reuter, she wrote a poem in honor of her mother, My Tree. When my kids were growing up, I loved the first lines of a poem they learned. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. And as I grew older, I agreed with the last lines. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. God made a beautiful tree for me that held me in her arms and cuddled me and caressed me and held me up and wiped my tears and gave me advice and held me dear and made me cry when she sang to me and brought me joy when I heard her voice each day, clear and diaphanous as a bell, always wishing that my day should be good and that everything should go well. Time has cut this tree down. It no longer stands erect above the ground, but her sweet embrace continues to envelop me. And I thank God for my tree that keeps on giving to me. So when Craig and I discussed this moment with all of you, he said, let's think of some celebrities that could answer this question. Remember the question I posed, what memory of your mother inspires you to be the person you are today? And I thought of celebrities in this world, and I could think of none other than the two best role models as mothers as I know, my own mother and my mother-in-law. So to answer the question this morning, I'd like to bring on into our Shabbat service
the question I pose, what memory
my mom and my mother-in-law.
what memory of your mother inspires you to be the person you are today? And I thought of celebrities in this world, and I could think of none other than the two best role models as mothers as I know, my own mother and my mother-in-law. So to answer the question this morning, I'd like to bring on into our Shabbat service the question I pose, what memory my mom and my mother-in-law. What memory of your
Leah,
mother inspires you to be the person you
I
are
think
today?
if the two of you will turn your volume down, because I think we're hearing the feedback from me, you can turn your, perfect. Okay, Leah Sherman, my mother-in-law, if you'll answer first, that would be great. Leah, I think if the two of you will turn your volume down, because I think we're hearing the feedback from me.
But I won't hear you.
You're perfect. Okay, Leah Sherman, my mother-in-law, if you'll answer first.
Okay. My mother always gave me encouragement in whatever I did, and I found myself giving my children, now even as adults, encouragement in whatever they do. My mother was my biggest fan, and I have always been my children's biggest fan.
And Mom, if you'll continue.
I'm actually going to take this question one step further, and I hope I don't cry. As this memory or memories of my mother resonate and inspire me to be the grandparent I am today. You see, the images that appear and reappear in my mind and heart are those that I think of when my mother spent time with my children. Being a grandma meant the world to her, and being with her grandchildren was like winning the lottery. My children's friends knew that Grandma Carol would call and check in every day, even when they were in college. She would make sure that each child was heard and felt special. Slipping gifts and goodies to their grandchildren, especially chocolate, was part of her DNA. Somehow, that special outfit my children wanted would suddenly appear in their closets. These treats became part of the Grandma Carol ritual. I always wanted to aspire to be that type of grandmother, and hopefully I followed in my mother's footsteps and became like her.
Mom, Leah, the two of you inspire me in ways more than you'll ever know. I want to wish you both a happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. We now turn the service back to Cantor Feldman, who will lead us in our Musaf service.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi Guzik, and Rabbi Sherman. That was so beautiful to see your moms on Mother's Day. I wish my mom a happy Mother's Day in Olam Haba. We turn now to page 184. I invite everyone to please rise. Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah.
בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון ובמכון ובחיי רחוב בית ישראל בגלה בזמן קרי והימרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ורחמתה תמירה מימה והימרו Amen.
We join together in our Musaf Amidah, page 185.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Vehanora El Elyon Omel Chasarim Tovim Lekonei HaKol Lezocher Chastei Avot Umevi Goel Libnei Bneihem Lemhan Shemo Ve'ava Velechozer Ufokein Umoshia Umagein Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ufokein Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai B'chayei Beitim Atah Rav Leoshia Orid Atal Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed B'chayei Beitim B'rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'rochech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato B'sheinei Havan Bichamocham Al Geburot Bichamocham Al Geburot Umido Melach Melech Meimit Umechayem Umatzmiach Yeshua Ve'ne'eman atah le'chayot meitim Baruch atah Adonai b'chayei ha'meitim.
Page 187, we join together in our Kedusha.
הכתוב על יד נביאך וכרזם אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות שואלים זה לזה איה מקום וכבודו לעומתם ברוך יאמרו ברוך כבוד אדוני מקום רחמים ויחונם המיוחדים שמו ערב ובוקר בכל יום ותמיד פעמיים באהבה שמה אומרים שמה ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד אלוהינו אבינו ומלכנו ומושיענו וישמיענו ברחמת שנית עיני כל חי להיות לבם אל אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם ודברי קודשך כתוב לאמור ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור הללויה 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 Kedushat Chanatish Lekor Vador Lekor Vador Nagid Von Elecha Ulenetzach Netzachim Ulenetzach Netzachim Kedushat Chanatish V'shivcha Eloheinu Ipinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed Ki el melech gadol V'kadosh Kedushat Chanatish Baruch atah Adonai
We continue the Musaf Amidah privately. pages 188 through 192. Please use this time for your own personal prayer. If you're still praying your Amidah, please continue at your own pace. This time during the Amidah has brought a lot of memories back to my mind about my mom. As I mentioned, unfortunately, she passed away 5 years ago from pancreatic cancer. I miss her dearly, and I deeply wish that she would be able to meet her grandson, Asher. I know they would have loved each other, but he has her eyes and her goofy personality, so for that, I'm grateful. A fond memory that I have of my mom is actually with my grandma, that they would sit next to each other in synagogue and they would hold each other's hands whenever I would sing, whenever I would pray, because music brought her so much joy. Being next to her mother-in-law brought her so much joy, and being able to share that beautiful moment together brought us so much joy. So a song that I vividly remember her being emotional with my grandma is actually right here from our Amidah, the Sim Shalom prayer, page 191. Sim Shalom Tov al vracha ba'olam Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ha'mecha Barucheinu Avinu Barucheinu Avinu Kunanu Kechad Be'or Panecha Ki Be'or Panecha Natata Lanu Adonai Eloheinu Torah Chaim ve'avat chesed u'tzedaka u'veracha v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom v'tov beinecha Levarech et amecha Yisrael bechol eit
ובכל שב ישלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל. בשלום, בשלום.
Happy Mother's Day. We turn ahead to Kaddish Shalem as we welcome almost everyone else to come back. Page 203.
יתקדל ויתקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דיברה קירותי ומליך מלכותי, בחיי חון ובמכון ובחי רחוב בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קרי והימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם לעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ותלש מלקודשה, בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דמינה ממה והימרו, אמן. תיקה בעצלות עונמה נכון לכל ישראל, קודם ובואו וישמע והימרו, אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמע וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל והימרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל והימרו, amen.
Go. Can you
Follow you.
hear me?
We can hear you. We can
Closest
see
we've
you.
ever been, well, in 2 months for sure, but even at Sinai Temple, we don't always have the opportunity to be in the same room.
No, and we aren't in the same room. We're just on the same screen.
We have my sister to thank for that, and Rachel Levy and George and all the people who work so hard to make this happen. Shabbat Shalom and Happy Mother's Day.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to acknowledge my mom, if I may, by saying we're early, so we're vamping. That's also not a Jewish tradition. So we don't want to start the official Shabbat Live until 11, which means we have like almost 6 glorious minutes. But I would like to acknowledge my mom. You asked, what did you learn from your mom, Rabbi Guzik? And what I learned from my mom, this is something she always would say. If you have something nice to say it to that person. Don't speak evil, that's one thing, that's obvious, right? But if you have something nice to say something nice, right? And I think you have been a beneficiary of that. Every time I have the opportunity, say, that was the best, that was such a great post, or that was so whatever, or you were such a great mom. So now I'm done with saying what I need to say, which means do you want to vamp with a story, Nicole, or something?
Oh, okay, we're vamping.
Already.
I don't think I've ever used the word vamping. I thought that's what we're doing here in the Shabbat morning service. But actually, some of you
put
know.
her on a big screen so we can see her close.
Oh,
Maybe. Is that
great,
that's
as
possible?
close as we can get.
Oh,
There we go.
Too close.
So something that Eris and I love to do with our kids, as hard as it is to get them to go to bed, we find that they really enjoy singing and they love singing lullabies. And it's just, of course, the memories of music that stirs our souls. And it's always interesting to wonder, do our kids ever really get it? You know, we do something night after night and we start a ritual. And of course, our rituals are inspired by our mothers and by our grandmothers. And so one night I remember singing a song that you'll hear in a second to one of my kids. And again, I didn't realize my impact. I didn't realize that they were ever really listening until they responded with the chorus of the song, which shows us 2 things. One is that exactly what you just said, Craig, our mothers inspire us. But 2, our kids and our grandkids are always listening. So be careful with what you say. Hopefully it's something nice, but also realize that the words of wisdom and the lullabies that we sing in our children's ears, they go directly to their hearts. Who knows? For years, we pray, years and years to come. So here's the not very Jewish lullaby that we sing to our kids.
It's pretty Jewish because 2 rabbis sing it at once. Wise men say, only fools
But I can't help
Falling, that's called vamping. Love with you. Take it away.
It's too high for me.
Shall I say, would it be a sin if I can't
Everyone.
help falling in love with you? Like a river flows
This is going great.
surely to the sea.
Sounds better in the bedrooms.
Darling, so it goes.
Some
Things are meant to be.
Okay, this is usually where we just skip to in the lullaby.
Take my hand, take my whole life together. But I can't help falling in love with you.
You're right. I think it's just a bit Jewish in the sense that B'yado afkid ruchi, in a sense that our children, our grandchildren, they're never afraid, or they don't necessarily feel fear because they know that they have a hand that guides them through this world. Whether it's the hand of the Shekhinah, the hand of our motherly spirit, or the hand of the mother that's rocking them right by their bed. We pray that we should always be able to take the hands of our mothers, either physical or spirit, and that we should never be afraid.
Beautiful.
Not the song, right? Not the song was beautiful. I said the song was not necessarily so beautiful, but the
I thought it was great.
intention
thought it
was
Not bad for
Let's sing this together. They'll be on mute though, so it doesn't. Unless, we'll try. Maya Ayo Shabbat Shalom Maya Ayo Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Goldie. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi,
Shalom.
well, you have 1 minute before we go to a video, so set it up, please. Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. One of the beautiful things about Shabbat, of course, is that Shabbat, more than any other holiday, I think, is associated with the warmth and beauty of the Jewish home. And the warmth and beauty of the Jewish home for generations and generations and generations was the creation of the Jewish mother. And I think for those of us who were lucky enough to grow up in a home with the white tablecloths and the candlesticks and the songs, we have that feeling that the Jewish mother, that the mother that created that atmosphere is Shabbat, brings peace for moments into our lives and into the world.
To Mom.
Mom.
Here's a little video that says it's good to be together. Shabbat Shalom.
Hine ma tov u'ma na'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be as one together. And what it was the gift we can hold forever. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. As one together, and what it was the gift we can hold forever. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. It is, how sweet it is to be as one together. And what it was the gift we can hold forever.
Extra time to take in that new song, I
And
guess.
here we are.
Now we're a minute behind.
Right.
David, I married Rabbi Wolpe. I married those two. That notion of Hinei matov, how good it is to be together, with I think the messaging of Lo tov heyot adam levado.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that is the first thing that the Torah says about human beings, is it's not good to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we are and aren't alone now. I mean, we're connecting through all sorts of wonderful ways. And as people will hear, we're going to have beautiful tributes to mothers from a variety of people. And so just as we keep our parents with us even when they're gone, distance is not always an obstacle to feeling someone in your heart. And so I hope that everybody here feels on this Shabbat that we are together, even though we are apart, and that we have those with us, mothers who are here and who are gone, even though obviously we would want things differently. But part of living is learning how to hold things close that sometimes aren't close, and learning how to lose and keep and cherish despite the fact that we can't always be in each other's presence. This is what the psychologists call a secure attachment. You love people even when they are far from you, and you feel them even when they are far from you. And that's a legacy, I think, of our mothers.
Amen. Amen. So let's play this tribute to our mothers.
Yeah.
Feliz Día de las Madres. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of our great grandmas, our fantastic moms, and our sweet mommies to be.
This is the first year that I am celebrating Mother's Day as a grandmother. This is Micah, and it's great to be a grandma. What can I say? Life is good. He's wonderful. Brings so much joy to the world. And love my kids for bringing new kids into this world.
Happy Mother's Day, Grandma.
Happy Mother's Day, Brenda.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you for always taking care of absolutely everybody in your life.
We appreciate everything you do for us and for everyone.
Continue to amaze us.
Happy Mother's Day
to our amazing moms, Heidi and Debbie,
and the amazing mothers of Sinai Temple.
Hey Mom, happy Mother's Day. We really appreciate everything that you do, and especially during this time, you're so important for us. I love you so much, and I wish you the best Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Amongst the many things you taught me is the value of community, and I'm so happy that we're part of this community together. I love you.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Love you.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Mom, we miss you every minute of every day. Our love for you has no bounds. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to the mother who has taught me everything from speaking up and advocating for myself to supporting my friends in need.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You've taught us so much. How to be resourceful, how to navigate the lines at Disneyland, of course, and how to ask for help and also give help too. So thank you for everything. I'm sorry we can't be there with you in person for Mother's Day, but we love you. We'll call you, of course.
Happy Mother's Day to my amazing Ima. I just want to tell you I love you so much, and I want to thank you for everything that you have done for me. Thank you for showing me what it means to be a great mom. I could only pray that I could do the same for my own children. Sending you a big hug.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I am so grateful for you today and every day, and I am so lucky to have you as a role model as I embark on my own motherhood journey. I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to my amazing mom. You're my role model in so many ways. I love you. You're my best friend, best mom, best grandma.
Bye-bye.
That's sweet, huh?
It's very sweet. Yeah. And I know we're about to sing a song that in a certain generation everyone knew, which is My Yiddish Mama, which is roughly translated my Jewish mother. And when you asked me to introduce it, I wasn't sure how to introduce it, but then I went looking, and in the poetry, in Yiddish poetry, one of the great Yiddish writers of the 20th century was Chaim Grade, and he has a poem, My Mother, and I thought I would just read the first verse of the poem, and that would be a perfect lead-in to My Yiddish Mama. This is My Mother from Chaim Grade. He was born in 1910. The cheeks collapsed and the eyes half shut. My mother listens as her knees sigh. The whole morning under the winter sky, she ran about to every market. So let us now at the gate of the wall sleep through the night. And her hand cries. A bird gets too exhausted from fluttering about as its wings rise and fall, and her head sinks down. But my mother flicks the daydream off like a tree shaking off the rain. Her hand taps at the freezing air and stays there, stretched out.
Beautiful.
My Yiddish Mama.
I need her more than ever now. My Yiddish mama, I'd like to kiss her wrinkled brow. I'd like to hold her hand once more, as in days gone by, and ask her to forgive me the things I did that made her cry. How few were her pleasures. She never cared for fashion style. Her jewels and her treasures, she found them in her baby's smile. Oh, I know that I owe what I am today to that dear little lady who's gone away, to that wonderful Yiddish mama. Of mine. Happy Mother's Day.
Adam and David Moss, they're obviously brothers. Their mom was still is an amazing singer, and just so great to see them sing a song from even before their mother's generation, and that was not my suggestion that they sing it. They said,
beautiful.
Well, how about if we do a Yiddish Mom? And I said, beautiful. Yeah, and you know it? Yeah, it's kind of great.
I wonder how, if you're a smart and famous and talented actress, you're dealing with this pandemic and your children. That's a question I would really like to ask. I wonder if there's some mother that could possibly explain to us what it is to be so well known and so brilliant and deal with the pandemic. Craig, do you have any idea if such a thing could be?
Well, I wanted to ask my wife. I did ask my wife, and she said, I'm there on many counts, but I'm not an actress. So yeah, I asked Mayim Bialik. She's literally a physicist, a scientist.
There you go.
And she's the quintessential Yiddish mom, I think.
Fits it perfectly. Wonder what she has to say.
We're about to find out.
Hi, this is Mayim Bialik, and I'm in my kitchen, which, as a mom, is where I spend most of my time, I think. One of the interesting things about the situation in the world right now is that it's really emphasized, even more than before, how much of my parenting is about being open and being flexible. I tell my kids all the time when we're stumped about something or when we're in conflict about something, like, I've never done this. I've never been your parent today with you at this age and me with what's going on in my life and the world. So we're going to figure it out together. And that's not to say that I don't have a plan or structure or a way that I intuitively know how to do things and people that I reach out to when I'm totally stumped. But parenting is really, it's a collaborative effort that we do with, obviously, with the people that we're parenting, but also with all the parts of ourselves that still need integrating. So there are times when I definitely do not behave the way my higher self would behave, and that's also part of the process. I'm not a perfect parent. I'm doing my best, and I tell my kids that I'm doing my best, and I don't have to be a perfect mom. I just have to be enough mom for my kids on any given day.
So this is the first time, I think, in all the years that I've been a rabbi that I've given the sermon sitting down, or at least when I was healthy and sitting down. And I'm doing it in part because Craig said, why don't you sit on the couch? But also because my mother was a very bizarre combination of tradition and modernity. If you walked into the synagogue and she didn't like the way that you were dressed, if she thought that it was inappropriate, boy, you would know. Her looks were eloquent. But I remember she caused a scandal when we first came to the synagogue in Philadelphia, where my father was a rabbi, by deciding after the first week or two that she wasn't going to wear a hat. And at that time, everybody wore hats to synagogue. And when she came to Sinai with my father to see Friday Night Live after they'd heard about it, I was afraid. I couldn't imagine my traditional mother listening to a band on the Shabbat, because I grew up in a synagogue with no music except for a choir, just human voices. And I thought, oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble now. And we did the service, and I came down afterwards, and she was hitting my father with her elbow and saying, why didn't you do this? My poor father, who never could have had Friday Night Live in the synagogue that he grew up in, even if he had wanted to. And I realized that our parents are always struggling between the world that they came from and the world that they are launching us into. And that all of them make different accommodations with that. And this is a particularly, of course, tough time, as you just heard from Mayim Bialik, to figure out what you say to your children as they enter a different world. But one thing has changed that is wonderful and beautiful. And that's why when I was asked for a title for this sermon, I just called it Imahot, mothers. Because when I was growing up, in our prayers, we mentioned our forefathers, but we didn't mention our mothers. We said Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, but we didn't say Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. When I was growing up, the opportunities for the voices of mothers were primarily through their children. Now, their voices resound through the world. I wonder what my mother and grandmother and great-grandmother might have done with different kinds of opportunities. And I'm so grateful that my daughter will have those kinds of opportunities, because the world is so different. When we look around the world and we see, for example, who's working on vaccines and viruses and so on, it doesn't surprise us. It doesn't in any way startle anybody that there are women scientists working along with male scientists and men working along with women, that one might be the boss of the lab and the other working in the lab, because the world is a changed world. And that's a beautiful thing. And it required generations and generations and generations of mothers to make their voices heard until the world listened. And it still needs to listen more. Nonetheless, we should realize that in the Jewish tradition, the first 6 years of every child's education in the Talmud was given over to the mother. And now that we know indisputably that the formative years of a human being's life are those early years, I think in a very deep way, more than we ever understood, we are all the products of our mothers. I think in a deep way, I inherited that woman who didn't like it when people didn't dress well, but liked it that she could decide not to wear a hat, who thought that having a service with a band was a good thing and a progressive thing. And so I thought, even though you stand up in the presence of a parent, I would do something a little different in honor of my mother today and sit down for the sermon, as so often we sat around a table and tried to make her laugh and praised what she gave us to eat and listened to all the stories that our family had to tell. We are blessed, all of us, with all the legacies that our mothers have given us. They're complex. They're not always straightforward. We struggle with them and grapple with them. But that's what it means to live. And remember that the very first mother, Chava, the Bible tells us, means the mother of all living. It is our mothers who give us life in all its complexity and difficulty and wonder and joy. We are so grateful to them, so grateful to their memory. God bless you, Mom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. You bring us here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. You keep us here. Shehechianu, you keep us alive. Mekiyamanu, sustaining our lives. Vehigianu, lazman hazeh, helping us reach this day. Shehechianu, you keep us alive. Vekiyamanu, sustaining our lives. Vehigianu, lazman hazeh.
Ribono Shel Olam, dear God, at this time we remember those mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends who are no longer with us. This week we mourn the passing of Nahid Parmini, wife of Benjamin of blessed memory, mother of Parvin, Jaleh, Gila, Parto, and Farhad. We mourn the passing of Sarah Davis, mother of Edward, Shirley, Billfield, and Judy Davis. And we mourn the passing of Perry Leff, husband of Abby and father of Nancy of blessed memory, of Jonathan, of Andrew, and of Stephen. And the following yortzites. Please rise for the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Gadash Shemei Rabbah. V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'byomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach v'olam u'lomei omaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit alal shemei d'kudisha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, ta'amiran v'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May God grant comfort and healing to the hearts of all who mourn, and let us all say, Amen.
Amen. Amen. So we're going to do a Misha Berach now. This is typically a prayer for healing, but we're going to do it a little differently. Rabbi, why don't you set up who we're dedicating this Misha Berach to? This is for healers.
Yes. The Misha Berach is for healing for people who are sick. But in our time, as you know, it's not only a function of people who are sick, but the many, many people who are risking themselves, their wellness, and sometimes even their lives to take care of all of those who have fallen ill. So we decided that this Misha Berach would not only be for those who are ill, but it would be for all of those who need to stay well, who are doing such wonderful and blessed work by taking care of the rest of us. Misha Berach.
And please add, if you know other healers, add your name, their names in the scroll.
Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Hu Yevarech V'Yirapeh Et HaCholim Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Hu Yevarech V'Yirapeh Et HaCholim Elna Rifana Elna Rifana Elna Rifana Elna Rifana
Put me on, Karen. Cantor, it's your turn for a little blessing. Your cup runneth over.
My turn for a little blessing. As I mentioned,
the Kiddush.
Oh, the Kiddush. Thank God you're not putting me on the spot again. All right. We ask everyone to please rise as we join together in Bishamru. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת, וינפש שבת, וינפש שבת, וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. על כן ברך אדוני יום השבת ויקדשהו סברי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. לחיים.
I think we need a little motzi. Oh, David, what are you, Rabbi? Did you want to say something?
I do. You know,
all right, come on.
I want to say this. First of all, yes, we do need a little motzi. But when we see Nicole and Erez and everybody talking about the mothers that they remember, I also want to celebrate all the mothers that all of us are lucky enough to have our children mothered by. I know that my daughter has a wonderful mother. I know that your kids, Craig, have a wonderful mother. I know that Rabbi Guzik is a wonderful mother. I know that Cantor Feldman is lucky enough to have his son have a wonderful mother. And all I know is none of us, I know us guys, we're all nice guys. None of us could do what our children's mothers are able to do with the magic and the love that they bring. And I want to celebrate them as well as celebrating our own mothers, because we're all very lucky that we have such gifted and loving mothers for our children.
Amen. To the health of our mothers.
To the health of our mothers. All of them.
Little motzi. Rabbi Guzik?
Rabbi Wolfe. Amen to that. Before we do the motzi, we also want to thank the Feit family for this beautiful Shabbat live service. Thank you to the Feits for their ongoing support. We miss you dearly, and Shabbat Shalom to you. And of course, Shabbat Shalom and greetings from our president, Jamie Berman, our executive director, Howard Lessner, our entire board of directors, and our staff. We wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Mother's Day. Ready for some motzi?
Let's do it. Fresh challah. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Ribbon Shalom, Master of the Universe, may our mothers, may God's motherly presence of the Shekhinah continue to embrace us. Amen.
Amen.
If you enjoyed the program or have any feedback, please let us know. We always like to hear from you. And with a little nigga. Hi, da 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 da. Shabbos Kodesh, Shabbos, Shabbos Kodesh, Shabbos Kodesh, SinaiTemple.org. Hey, Shabbos Kodesh, Shabbos, Shabbos Kodesh, Shabbos Kodesh. Don't forget to teach your mama. Hi, diggy die, diggy die, diggy die, 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 die. Hi, die, die, diggy die, diggy die, diggy die, do. 3, 2, 1. We're out of here.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.